Skyrim just got full-fledged multiplayer. This thanks to modders and the incredibly ambitious project of Skyrim Together. And although there were some bugs on release with this one, this is pretty much just multiplayer in Skyrim. You can do quests, clear dungeons, and even PvP with your friends or strangers. And as we're now starting to see several groups explore, even experience ultra-modded Skyrim with others. It's amazing, but what about Fallout 4? Some of you may remember Fallout 4 actually did have its own multiplayer mod project. I covered some of the videos of this when it was still a work in progress and even tried it out for myself, playing with some of the developers and actually getting to experience Fallout 4 multiplayer. I connected to a server and was able to play and build with other people. Unfortunately, that project died shortly thereafter. So that project, or at least that front of Fallout 4 multiplayer, is no longer, but there's still hope, and I actually think there's hope on two fronts. On one hand, there is a decent chance we could see Fallout 4 multiplayer one day from none other than the Skyrim Together devs. One of the pretty awesome parts about the Skyrim multiplayer mods framework is a large part of this will just function with Fallout 4, and in turn being a similar type of multiplayer experience for Fallout 4 like Skyrim Together is for Skyrim. So if you're loving Skyrim Together, Fallout 4 Together may be in our future. The devs made it clear during development that many of the features being implemented to Skyrim were also being implemented and working with Fallout 4. Although in the final stretch, they did turn their focus onto Skyrim solely in order to finish things off, actually get Skyrim Together released. These developers saying, as for Fallout Together, for those of you who missed it, we've decided to focus on Skyrim Together Reborn entirely these past few months, and have since stopped developing Fallout Together. As some of you may have noticed, I've been doing some work on Fallout Together these past few days. Fallout Together is not cancelled, but I'm currently the only developer on the team who is interested in continuing development of it. So although things were kind of put on pause for a while as they were finishing up Skyrim Together, over the past couple of weeks to a month or so, there has been continued development and work being done. You can see this in real time on their GitHub or even more easily on their Discord. I don't know, there definitely have been gameplay snippets in the past showcasing parts of this. Even just recently, they shared a screenshot of it working, kind of, at least for seconds at a time, playing Fallout 4 with at least one other person. I don't know, all of this sounds and looks great. There's still quite a bit of work to be done, and the onus is on the community to make this a reality, to make Fallout 4 multiplayer actually happen. With the release of Reborn, the latest version of Skyrim Together, developers made the project open source. And it made it very clear for something like Fallout Together to happen, they will need help from the community to get this mod complete. So hey, on one hand, if you're interested, I will have a link to their Discord down below where you can participate or join. This is not something that's just going to happen without help, but the exciting part here is, of course, things are not just starting from scratch. Although we're only really talking about Fallout 4 multiplayer concretely here, there is quite a bit of work that's already done on it, predominantly benefiting from the work already done adding multiplayer to Skyrim. And for me, one of the reasons there's so much excitement around a potential Fallout 4 multiplayer like this is a relatively simple co-op for Fallout 4 is what many people hope to get from Fallout 76. Many of the comments on my original Skyrim Together video, this covering the actual release of the mod, were pointing out how Skyrim Together and seeing it in action was exactly what they hoped Fallout 76 would be. Another framework for making that Fallout 4 co-op dream a reality is definitely there. And that is the more concrete side of this, the fan-made mod project adding multiplayer to Fallout 4 that needs your help, or really just the help from the community overall. But honestly, I still think there's another avenue for which this could happen, and that's actually from Bethesda themselves. And this is where we get into the more tinfoil hat or speculative side of this. Bethesda are, of course, hard at work at Starfield, and even Fallout 76 is still getting updates. It's technically getting an update this Tuesday. But for years now, I've had this theory that Bethesda Game Studios will follow the Skyrim formula and release a soft remaster of Fallout 4 with some added features. One of the big features could be more mod space on consoles. I just recently talked about this in a video. Fallout 4 on consoles is getting held back significantly by that 2 GB mod space limit. Having more mod space would open up a ton of additional content possibilities via modding on consoles. So have that as one of the aspects, but of course, a much bigger aspect could be multiplayer support as well. Fallout 76 on a conceptual level actually started as a multiplayer mode for Fallout 4, something they had been wanting to do, and it was in the plans for Fallout 4 at one point. Of course, that didn't work out, and we ended up getting the full spin-off title with Fallout 76. And regardless of what you think about the game at this point, the work has been done now to add multiplayer to the engine. Creation Engine has multiplayer functionality thanks to Fallout 76, and could make a lot of sense to continue to monetize the work of adding the multiplayer to the engine with a real Fallout 4 co-op game. I think this quote from Todd Howard may even add some credence to that.
This is the tone. Just to, this is what it feels a little bit like. Same with Elder Scrolls 6. But we have a little bit of a roadmap on our head. Like, this is the one that, like, as a base technology that this one adds.
This is from the NoClip documentary back in 2018, and what if Fallout 76 was the massive undertaking that would finally see multiplayer as a feature and a staple in future Bethesda games? We could finally see Fallout 4 with co-op like they originally wanted, with a soft remaster that I think many people would buy, and maybe even a simple co-op in Starfield. There's another theory I've been kind of floating around. They haven't really ruled out Starfield having co-op. They haven't said it will or won't. It's a single player focused game. I don't think it'll have a huge multiplayer component, but being able to play Starfield with a couple of friends and exploration, that'd be awesome. When it comes to Fallout 4 multiplayer, I think a lot of people look at Fallout 76 like, well, they made Fallout 76. They're not going to just release Fallout 4 with multiplayer now. It'd almost be competing against their own product. But Fallout 76 literally has less players than Fallout 4 right now, and has been this way for a while. Xbox tends to be one of the biggest systems for both Fallout 4 and Fallout 76, and Fallout 4 is well above Fallout 76 in player count on Xbox. And of course, this continues onto Steam as well, where the mod gap definitely creates a much larger difference. And even further, we know there's a bunch of unreleased Creation Club content just sitting there, waiting to be released for Fallout 4. Imagine a Fallout 4 special edition featuring more mod space, a bunch of mini DLCs with all of the old Creation Club content, but then a bunch of new things also that haven't released yet, and of course co-op support as being that major new feature, where you could play Fallout 4 with up to 3 other friends, or maybe even 5 other friends, depending on how things go. I think that game sells a lot of copies, and although we don't have any concrete evidence of its existence, to me, from a financial perspective, this makes a lot of sense. The dollar signs are there. There's still a ton of interest in Fallout 4 as we approach the game hitting 7 years old, which is pretty insane. The Fallout game constantly getting updates has less players than the one that hasn't gotten updates in years. And with how much success Bethesda has had with re-releasing Skyrim like 9 times, I just have a feeling this could start happening with Fallout 4 in the future. Our release window on a title like this is pretty curious. Obviously, we have Starfield next year at some point. We basically heard nothing about Starfield since the summer showcase, but we do have both QuakeCon and the Gamescom coming up in August, so I think it's pretty likely we'll see or hear something then. But perhaps the year after Starfield, as we're getting into Starfield DLC late in 2024, we could see some kind of Fallout 4 remaster. Who knows? Maybe there'll be a shocker and it'll even come out late next year in late 2023. Either way, again, whether it be from the fan-made mod project or from Bethesda officially, to me, it seems like we definitely have some potential with Fallout 4 getting multiplayer in the future, for us to finally be able to experience Fallout 4 with others. With that said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, hopefully you found it informative, and as always, again, I thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all next time. Later.